Hello, and welcome to Telling Tales. You're about to watch a pre-recorded episode of Delta Green, a tabletop role-playing game of Lovecraftian horror and conspiracy. We play a wide variety of games. If you'd like to see more, please join us live on Twitch. We usually stream on Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays at 8 PM UK time, or you can check out our YouTube channel for all of our past videos. For information on what we're currently up to, you can join our Discord server, follow our various social media feeds, or our Patreon. You can find the links on our channel pages, below the videos, or at linktree/tellingtales. Hello. Welcome again to Telling Tales, and welcome once again to the world of Delta Green. This is the second episode of our little side project. These are pre-recorded episodes, so they'll differ in format slightly, hence everybody appearing all at once. But tonight again, yes, we have John, Jonny, Inga, Sam, and Justin. Hello. Thanks for returning. So yes, to recap briefly on last time's events, we have three established agents belonging to Pisces, the UK sort of secret security branch that deals in all sorts of weird esoteric things and attempts to keep society safe. Those three established agents are Dr. Nidri, Agent DeWitt, and Lieutenant Conti. Their mission that they were given last week was to recruit two new prospective agents, Dr. Good and Mark Bradshaw, and also to look into the unexpected and sudden death of another long-term asset of Pisces. That was Arthur Mason, I believe, if I got my names right. I think I have. And essentially to check that his death was from natural causes, there was nothing weird, and that also to sweep Arthur Mason's shop and residence to locate a couple of named interesting books and to find something that was referred to as a receiver of sorts, and also to check whether anything else was lurking in the shop that was of a danger to members of the public. So I think, things started off reasonably well. I think. The three agents met up with the two recruits. There was a slight confusion in names. Perhaps we should cover that briefly. So, Sam, go on. What's
Nothing happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, okay.
So Agent DeWitt isn't necessarily always the most compos mentis person, and I think she after having been clearly told that Lieutenant Conti's alias was going to be Robert Thomas for this story, immediately introduced him as Lieutenant Conti to these two, but did introduce myself as Agent Smart, which is my cover name.
So has anybody mentioned either on screen or off screen who Dr. Nidri is?
I haven't.
No, Mags was staying in the car when these guys went to meet the others, and I think by the time we got to the car, there was enough other chat going on that she was also just sitting in the back, looking awkward, and didn't introduce herself.
So there was a bit of an awkward sandwich in the back with Dr. Good, Dr. Nidri, and Mark Bradshaw. There was some discussion of what the so-called mission entailed, which was to go off and go to Sandworth NHS Trust to look into whether Arthur Mason's death was natural. So there was some discussion about that. And yes, Dr. Good ended up taking the lead on that one. And we left last time with Dr. Good being given access to the mortuary department by a reporter with a swipe card. Followed not necessarily that closely, but Dr. Nidri was sort of wandering around in the wings, and the other people saw them head off to the mortuary. So as we start, what are you all doing? Are you following? Are you waiting for Dr. Good to get back to you? What's the deal? Because I think you were all the remainder were sat in various places in the sort of the hospital foyer, weren't you?
I think Mark had followed Dr. Good because my cover, although I didn't particularly need to say it, was essentially that I was the photographer who was taking the pictures of the body. So I brought my camera in with me, so I followed straight away to essentially maintain that cover if it became necessary to do so.
Okay.
I think myself and Conti had stayed out, and I'll be in the lobby as they head in, and I'll just lean over to you and quietly say, "I'll be outside, Agent Thomas. I'll keep an eye out for should this other, well, whoever it is who wants to look at this body. If I can see them, I'll keep an eye out for them." And then I head out the door, unless you say anything else to me.
Okay. And so, Dr. Nidri, what are you doing? The porter has swiped the access to the mortuary. There's Dr. Good and Mark Bradshaw.
I'll just follow them in if I can. I mean, they know that I've not been like hiding kind of thing. Like I've just been, I've just been kind of hanging around with them. I've not, again, made any excuses or announcements or anything. I've just been following. So we'll follow them right in.
So remind me what you're all wearing. So, Dr. Good, did you put any sort of official? Did you have a? I can't remember now. Did you have like a lab coat or something, or are you just?
I think I was just in my normal, basically assuming that I generally keep my lab coat in the lab. Just carry it around with me. I did have my ID, but I was told to leave it behind. So no, it's basically just jeans and a jumper, really.
I think,
I'm trying to look official enough.
Didn't you grab a coat in the lab?
I mean, I've only just walked into the lab now.
Yeah, I think at the end of the last session we might have.
I think we discussed that there'd be a whole load of plastic aprons and official, that sort of stuff. So once you get in, you can probably
once I get in, I will suit up appropriately.
Okay. Well, so the porter swiped the door and kind of looks at you a bit funny because well, not you, it more Mark and Mags, because Mags is kind of a hat and scarf, was it?
Yeah, I mean, scarves, big cardigans, and doesn't look medical in the slightest. But if she's not being actively stopped, she'll just follow in.
Sure. The porter will shrug and sort of, wander off. And yes, you're now inside the mortuary. I should explain. So the porter swiped the card through the door. The door's open. You've gone in. You can get out again. There's like a release on the doors, but currently you can't move freely. The porter's not given you an access card yourself. So in the mortuary, it's like a department in itself. So you've got the reception area where you could see previously there was a hole in the wall. That's obviously all dark currently. There are a couple of offices, and then the corridor leads further away into the back, where you presume, yes, there'll be the medical rooms and the refrigeration storage unit. So what are you doing?
So I would probably start at the front. I would, if I have access, start by looking through the office for admission papers, such as, initial reports, any, I don't know, there'll probably be notes on where the body was found, first conclusions from the scene, that kind of thing.
Okay. There isn't so much in terms of paper trails. There's most of it's been computerized.
Makes sense.
So there are computers around. I think there'll be a whiteboard on one of the walls, and there'll be names of. I don't know whether they can't really be called patients at this stage, can they? Subjects.
I think they're bodies. It's fine.
Customers. Yes.
Clients.
Yes. Whatever. There are names on the whiteboard, and yes, you can see that Arthur Mason's name is there. There is a reference to. Well, there are a couple of references. I think one is likely to be for the storage unit itself, and one is for secure storage for personal effects.
Right.
But yes, there are computers around as well.
I will try a computer. Do I need a login for them? If I wiggle the mouse.
You wiggle the mouse, and there's like a password prompt pops up.
Right.
Don't we want to look at the body? The on call fellow's coming along, isn't he? Don't we want to we want to see the body, right?
We do. I assumed we wanted any additional information while we were here. This is an investigation, isn't it?
Well, you've got to see what the body looks like, see if there's anything funny going on. But I mean, if there's something in the paperwork, I think we want. I would quite like to see the body.
All right then.
Slightly disturbing, but
not going to question it. I will go to the refrigeration units.
Okay. So yes, again, all of these rooms are dark. You can find the light switches for them. It's obviously a bit chilly, clinical. The air is obviously, there's a sort of a disinfectant smell in the air. And yes, you find the appropriate storage unit corresponding to Arthur Mason.
I will be prepping my camera in case I actually do need to take some photos.
Okay.
I'll open him up.
Right.
Not him, obviously.
Yeah.
Not yet. I will open
premature.
the unit.
Okay. So you can draw the shelf out, and yes, if you uncover, well, there's a body there. It's covered in a sheet initially. It is indeed Arthur Mason. He looks, well, his skin is sort of waxy and sallow, obviously. He's sort of, how old did I say it was? I think it was in 60s or late 50s or something like that. So he's kind of wiry, sagging skin. He looks in, well, other than being dead, he looks in reasonable condition. He's not sort of a wreck. You can see the Y-shaped incision that indicates that an autopsy has been carried out. It's been kind of stitched back up. Yeah, what do you do?
I will start by looking at the externals of the body for any, outward contusions or signs or.
Okay. I'll tell you what, give us I'm presuming this will be a forensics roll.
Yeah.
What do you mean presuming? Is there anything more forensics than investigating a body, Steve?
I mean, there might be a specific skill for separate, you never know.
I rolled 10, so
Okay.
that is a success.
Lovely. So you can check over the body and you determine a few things. First of all, there are no obvious contusions, no obvious sort of skin damage, anything like that. Potentially, it looks like at some point he's like bumped his head, maybe upper arm, but it looks to you as if those happened after death, in terms of after that point. You can see what else. In examining the body, you also find, because you got a 10, that's a pretty good roll. You do find traces of, when you're examining his fingers, you can see that he's obviously worked with his hands on something, and you can find a couple of small either splinters or little sort of turnings of brass embedded in a couple of his fingers, like in calluses where he's worked materials, and also traces of something that looks a bit like soil under some of his fingernails. And you also see on his chest there is a small plain tattoo which looks like it's like a diagonal line running top right to bottom left, and there are a number of branches coming off it, like 3 on the left, 2 on the right, I think. So it kind of looks a bit like a branch or a twig, and it looks like that tattoo has been re-inked several times.
Okay.
Is Dr. Good saying any of, I mean, I presumably the tattoo is fairly visible to anybody, but all the other kind of findings, are you talking out loud with any of this, or is that you keeping it all to yourself for the time being?
I will say it out loud. I'm used to usually recording myself when doing examinations, and I'm obviously not doing that now, so saying it aloud to you guys is the next best thing.
Cool. Like Mags will scribble like a little image of the tattoo. I think Mags is sort of hoping, like, in a way that was definitely not going to happen, but you never know, that there'd be like some really nice, big, obvious, like ritualistic, something weird or funky going on here. So I think she's a bit disappointed when she first came in, but if you are going to say that out loud, I think she'll be a bit more interested with the findings that you've got, and certainly will have made a note of the tattoo. I guess if you're kind of, if there's other kind of, if there's nothing else that's kind of like really obvious or weird, might offer to sort of say, if you want me to have another look at that for any paperwork or anything, while you're working, I can see if I can find anything.
That would be good. As an autopsy has already been carried out, there's a chance that anything internal may have been tainted, influenced. If I could see the original surgeon's notes, that may give me a better idea as to what state it was in to begin with.
All right. I'll see what I can do. Who was the doctor that who's the on-call guy again? What was his
Dr.
name?
Archer.
Dr. Archer. All right. Let me see what I can find, and she'll head back through and have a look through the paperwork and give a go to the sort of try the password, try 1 2 3, some of that, and the sort of the hacking, the real life hacking that doesn't actually require much technical skills.
Nice.
Human
hacking. Yeah, social engineering. Okay.
Checking around for post-it notes.
Well, give us a search roll.
There is computer science as well. If you're
there is computer science as well. Actually, yes. Actually, yeah.
My computer science is okay, but I rolled a 67, which is not a pass, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, perhaps it takes you a little while. You can't see anything immediately and the clock is ticking away in the background. But going through a few drawers and sort of looking around, eventually you do find a post-it note with a scribbled username and password in contravention to the hospital's IT policies. Dreadful behavior. And yes, you can log yourself in to the computer.
Cool. Yeah, I'll see what I can find
Okay.
in whatever NHS systems look like.
Well, if you cross-reference the patient code, the ID for this particular autopsy, and enter that in the system, you can find the original notes on the original medical report for this this autopsy. Yeah,
presumably we already had the notes from our report, so I guess I would maybe have a scan. I mean, I'll see if I can print them or something anyway, so I can get a hard copy.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We'll particularly have a look to see if there's a scan, if there's anything that jumps out that maybe doesn't match what we had before, or maybe is updated information that's either additional or seems like it doesn't quite match
Sure.
what we were given. Because I think we were told to, hopefully it'll be natural causes. So presumably there was nothing obvious from any original reports that we had. So yeah, anything that looks vaguely sus to my non-medical eye, more so I can point it out to Dr. Good than to actually
Sure.
analyze it myself.
Well, yes, you can find this the medical report. So skimming through it, it looks fairly normal. So I guess some things that might jump out to you. Again, the entry for this gives Arthur Mason's details, the address of his store. Also in the report was what was sort of presented with the body, which was some of his personal effects, including a wallet, a set of keys, and a small address book. Those are in the there's a code for the secure storage for those items before they're handed back. Yeah, so in terms of the report itself, so the circumstances of the subject's death, which was apparently an apparent collapse whilst sat at his breakfast table, suggest cardiac arrest. But his medical records don't indicate a history of chronic heart failure, and subsequent examination did not suggest myocardial infarction. The report goes on to say that the examiner also found the brass splinters and this organic matter that's kind of a little like soil. Blood work and toxicology both came back. Well, toxicology was clean. Blood work was, appropriate for somebody of his age. So, yes, it's a bit of a mystery in terms of his heart just seemed to stop, but there's no underlying disease that might have caused that, or at least none that's apparent.
Relayed to Dr. Good.
I will be taking pictures also, especially of the tattoo and sort of the marks on things as well.
I will point out in particular for a picture of the head/shoulder wound.
Okay.
For the bits in the fingers and stuff, is there enough to take samples? I will ask Dr. Good, I guess, rather than the keeper or handler. Sorry.
I'd imagine so. I'll get a. You're going to say something?
Maybe not.
Yes.
If you do it with here, she say take a finger.
Yikes.
I think they might notice that.
Just a teensy bit. Go on.
No, I'm gonna get a vial and some tweezers and
Okay.
tweeze a couple out.
And Steve, you said that it's something about a code for the personal effects. Presumably the code wasn't there in the medical report and stuff, right? Like it's just a note that there are personal effects which included these items. We don't have access to those as well.
There's like a location. So there's a storage, like a set of small safe-like things in one of the back rooms, and the code there is the individual safe that those objects are in. So they're within the mortuary department.
But the code was just like the number of the safe rather than the code to get into the safe.
Yes.
Presumably, yeah. Well, I mean, maybe, so far the security has been terrible. So, maybe, I mean, I'll go check it just in case I can lift those keys.
It'll be written on the side in chalk with a note saying, "Please change."
Are we intending to leave before Dr. Archer arrives?
If you're asking us directly, I mean, I'm assuming that I'm going to get kicked out as soon as he does. So I am just gonna pace off again. You're probably fine.
Right, then let's get a cart ready and open him up. I could wait,
check out the safe.
but then the doctor might say no. Whereas if I'm already doing it by the time he arrives, yes. Yep, I'll start prepping equipment for opening up the stitches.
Oh, I love it.
Hey, the guy told you to get started, and
Yep.
he'd come join you when he could. You've done nothing wrong. I mean, apart from the, breaking into a mortuary.
But you have no idea whatsoever, which you might want to. Sure, it's fine.
I didn't break into the mortuary. I asked to be let into the mortuary as part of an investigation, which is true.
I don't think you've.
Don't ask me to prove it, but it's true.
Oh boy. Okay. So right. I presume you're getting like a trolley then, sticking the putting the body on the trolley, wheeling it round to the medical room
area. Yeah.
Okay. So Dr. Nidri, are you heading off? Are you staying there?
I'll go to just have a look at the safes, and I am assuming that I will go and see that the code just refers to a safe, like a number of the safe rather than an actual code to gain entry, and just affirming that I'll then head back. But if it looks like there is a code that I can enter, then I will give it a go, but I'm assuming not. And if not, I'll just head back and see what I can do to help.
Unfortunately, they are all sort of key based.
Right. Yeah.
So yes, you'll need to find some sort of key. Okay, so Dr. Nidri is heading back to reception, I guess.
I was going to head back to Dr. Good.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, just offer up an extra pair of hands for anything that is useful to move or whatever. If you've already started cutting open, she will look a bit uncomfortable. She's more used to a lot less fresh bones, really, rather than bodies. So it's a bit distasteful now, but
a bit juicy.
Helpful. Yeah, it's a bit juicy. Yeah.
What about Mark? As Mark, I mean, I guess you've seen some pretty interesting things, but
I think Mark has probably seen. He'll have been sort of in and around war zones, I imagine, and probably seen upsetting things that probably mean that this is not shocking as much as it's still probably not. I don't think he's at the point of being desensitized, but also he has had to do a job in these situations before, so I think he's probably okay.
Okay.
And of course, it's just a day at the office for Louis.
Yes. Well, a day at someone else's office. Okay.
So I'll help out with the sort of trolley and stuff, I guess, initially, and then be prepared to carry on taking pictures if Dr. Good says that there is anything that needs to be. And I'll kind of say, I'm not sure what to be looking for in there, so point me out if there's anything of interest.
Of course.
I mean, the report would have listed a whole bunch of measurements that have been taken, weights of internal organs and things like that. So there's a whole suite of stuff that's already listed on the report. I believe I haven't. Right, again, fourth wall break. I haven't researched thoroughly what happens with in an autopsy. I've seen TV shows. I suspect after various organs have been extracted and weighed and measured and so on, I think they're returned to the body cavity in plastic bags. I think.
Yeah, I think the one thing is that they haven't got a cause of death, which might mean they're still kind of in investigation, so they might not put them back. That would be my one theory, but I don't know if they actually would or wouldn't in that case. I guess it might depend on the context too.
Well, I'm going to say they've been returned. It kind of looked on the report as if they'd not reached a thorough conclusion, but equally, these things happen from time to time. So it looked like they were in the sort of the closing phases of the report.
Right. I'm considering doing not exactly a rush job, but maybe I don't need to go through and weigh everything, because I'm not expecting to find, if there's an inconsistency in the report, I'm not expecting it to be like 10 grams of his liver or something. I'm expecting it to be like not recording some kind of contusion or inflammation or something like that. So I'll probably skip that step and just be examining the organs and the internal tissues.
Okay.
For anything they may have missed.
Okay. Whilst you're doing that, let's say that DeWitt and Conti see someone looking like a doctor, slightly harried, like rushing through the foyer, the lobby area, and heading towards the mortuary.
I was outside hanging around the staff car park trying to keep an eye out for them arriving. Presumably, if I see someone who looks like a hurried doctor, I'll try and hurry in before them.
Okay.
Just point out to Conti. I quickly pop the last pill that I was having outside and then dash in to join Conti. And then just nod to you and say, he's here. Should we go warn him?
Yeah, I think we could probably send
I'll
the
just
doctor a message on the phone. I think that's probably the best.
Okay,
thing to do.
I'll be about to dash and then go, okay. I'll wait for you. And just sit down.
I'm gonna message Mags that the doctor's on his way.
She'll, I guess, get the message and
Your phone beeps. Yeah.
relay the message and try and kind of clear up and maybe clear out. I think it's maybe best that I go. You'll probably find if I'll head back to reception. Are you staying here? I'll point to Mark.
Yes.
Oh, sure. All right. Bye. I'll see you outside. Yeah.
After you've messaged, I'll just turn to Conti and say, you think we should...
I will have forgotten to message back, by the way.
I will not have expected one.
Yeah. Do you think we should go keep an eye on them in case there's any trouble?
I suppose I could have just get up and I'm not even going to ask to do it. I have no time to do it right now today. Like I'm gonna relocate to a bench that is more close to the mortuary. I preferably one where I can overhear the reception. if such a bench exists, handler.
It's going to be an either or. The mortuary is some way distant down
Fair.
various corridors. So
then I might just ask DeWitt to. Well, I give DeWitt the option. Mortuary, do you want to go to the mortuary or do you want to watch the reception?
I'll head in, and then I'll nod passing reception. Just say I'm just going to the toilet, and then walk into the main bit of the building.
I'm going to stretch my legs and then move somewhere close to the reception and pull out my phone and look as if I'm texting someone.
sure.
It's a good old thing in all NHS trusts. The toilets are always back in the building somewhere. You can just be like, now I'm in the building. It's fine.
Yeah, massive maze. Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm just lost. I will try and find somewhere that I can get close to the mortuary and sit like I'm waiting, if it's possible.
There is a good chance that Mags gets lost on her way trying to find the reception.
I'll just see you down a hallway like that and then up another hallway like that 5 minutes later.
Beautiful.
If I can't find somewhere to sit near that, I'll probably just be awkwardly walking around. So I don't know, depends.
In my experience of NHS hospitals, if you just keep taking a right turn, you'll eventually find the exit.
Love it. What happens if you keep taking a left turn?
Lost forever.
Yeah. Okay, so whilst this is going on, Dr. Good, you're continuing with your verification exercise, I guess. Things are looking. Oh, go on.
Did I manage to get a printout of the report? I presume, hopefully that was okay.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yes, yeah.
And the samples that Dr. Good took, can unless you'd put them somewhere specific. I think that was something I would have maybe wanted to get.
I would have been happy with you sneaking them out before the doctor arrives.
Cool. Where was I? Oh yes, you're continuing with the verification. Yes, I mean it seems so far as if they've done a reasonable job. There's obviously they haven't reached any firm conclusions, but in terms of the process, it seems that they've been reasonably thorough. The weights and measurements, if you do any spot checks, they look to be, in the right sort of ballpark. There's no obvious signs of weirdness of any of your previous experiences. It just looks like an old man who's just died.
Very suspicious.
I can't imagine anything more suspicious.
And it's at this point that the mortuary doors open and Dr. Archer walks in. So you hear footsteps from the entranceway and, looking around a bit, maybe pausing. None of the offices are lit. So he comes through and sees you mid second autopsy and sort of pauses. You've started.
Yes, I hope you don't mind.
And he looks at what you've been doing, recognizes the process. Well, I guess not. It's a bit unusual. Sorry, who are you? And he looks at Mark.
I'm here to take photographic evidence as an assistant to Dr. Good.
Photographic evidence?
Yes, as required.
Is that a problem?
It's somewhat unusual. What?
Well, short of requesting the body to ourselves, this is really the best we could come up with. And that's.
I'm somewhat surprised in this case. There was no evidence of anything particularly out of the ordinary.
There doesn't seem to be an awful lot of evidence of anything, to be honest. No history of heart disease, no inflammation of the tissue, just fell over of a heart attack out of nowhere.
Well, I'll grant you it's, I guess that's, I guess, a little odd, but it's not the most unusual case we've had to work on. We have more complex cases that come through on a regular basis. It seemed unfortunate, but not outstanding. If you see what I mean.
I see, and I certainly agree. I just I'm not here to question why I'm here. I've just been asked to be here.
Of course. Well, is there anything I can do then? I guess at least if you started, then you'll be done quicker. Yes, anything I can help with?
Is there anything that didn't make it into the report?
Well, no. We report all our findings.
Nothing
It
that
would be-
seems too trivial, too out of place.
And he'll sort of flick through the, well, he doesn't have a paper copy because you've nabbed it.
We printed our own.
Yeah, and that's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll head over to one of the computers and sort of bring up the file and dig through that. And he's sort of scrolling back and forth and well, no, I don't think so. What do you think? There's something deeper at work here? What?
I haven't the foggiest. Anything interesting in his medical history?
Well, not particularly. I mean, usual hypertension. Was on some blood pressure medication for that, but nothing that was that posed a significant health risk.
And the toxicology report you ran, does it also check for heavy metals, any kind of impurities that may have been in? I notice his chest tattoo has been re-inked several times.
Yes, there was, as you can see, the blood work is clean. There was some contamination with of his skin with shards of metal, but well, that seems consistent with like some form of craft work or metal turning, something like that.
Have you been able to identify what the metal is?
We believe it's brass.
Interesting. Would my assistant here be able to photograph his personal effects that came in?
I guess so. Yes, certainly that shouldn't be a problem. Yes, I'll fetch them for you.
Thank you. And I will start stitching this back up, I think.
Yes, Jonny?
Can I follow behind him and slyly flick my camera to record mode and see if I can get the digits? Oh no! Sorry, did you say it's a key?
Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Great.
Never mind.
Great. Would have been great, but yeah, it's a key. Sorry.
It's fine.
Yes. So Dr. Archer goes off, opens up a small locker, and comes back with a plastic sort of Ziploc bag with various items in it. And yes, they are indeed a wallet, a set of keys, and a small, pocket size little notebook.
Are there? Sorry,
go ahead.
John. Oh, are there? There'll be sort of latex gloves around, won't there?
Yes.
Because I plan to sort of, I'll sort of look to to John's character first, but also to Dr. Archer, I guess, for sort of approval to remove bits from the wallet and things like that, to take pictures of his ID and that kind of thing. So I would, I would be aware that it's probably best to do that with a glove,
sure,
so my fingerprints aren't all over everything.
Yes,
so yeah, I'll start taking pictures once I've done
okay.
that.
Well, yes. So if you're looking through these things and sort of taking photographs of them, you can see that there are several keys on the key ring. Some of them look like external door locks. Some of them look like sort of internal, like mortise keys. Yes, the little address book is, it's battered, it's worn. If you flick through that, most of them are addresses. You do, in the front page, you do see a list of what look like phone numbers, which are, most of them are crossed out. There's one at the bottom of the list that isn't. But what can we have you roll here? I think just an intelligence, intelligence times 5 roll, I think, please.
Is it criminology, maybe?
I have 65 and I rolled 41.
Okay. Yeah, it's a fairly simple roll. I think criminology would be rather more specialized. So, yes, you're looking at them, and suddenly it occurs to you that they're not phone numbers. They can't be phone numbers because although they're in blocks of 5 digits and 6 digits, and although the 5-digit ones start with 0, they're just, the second numbers are, they don't correspond to standard area codes. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, snap a picture of that page, especially, I'll be probably taking pictures of, I don't know how big the address book is, I wouldn't necessarily take pictures of every page, I suppose, of an address book, but that one especially, if it looks like it's something of note.
Sure. And I guess, well, Dr. Archer will probably head back to see what Dr. Good is doing. Sorry, Dr. Thorogood.
If I've examined everything and can't find anything out of the ordinary, I'll be stitching him back up.
Okay. Tempted to make you do a roll for how good. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Pointless. Let's move on. So yes. So before too long, there you are. The body is restored to the state it was in before you arrived. Dr. Archer is kind of looking a bit bemused, but also kind of guiltily pleased that this thing is looking like it might be wrapping up. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else we need to look at.
So
I can't give him my number. No.
Can I call up? Oh, so Dr. Nidri's gone, haven't they?
yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Never mind.
I've been able to find my way back or found my way to
Yeah.
DeWitt to help.
Eventually,
find
yeah.
back.
Cool.
Well,
I'd
DeWitt
like,
will have...
if I can, reverse image searching. Literally just like Googling like that picture or
Okay,
like if
right.
there's anything, if there's just any info about that is
Okay.
known.
Let's have a think about that. So yes, Agent DeWitt will have seen Dr. Nidri sort of wander past. Whether Dr. Nidri saw Agent DeWitt, who knows? But let's have a look. Give us an occult roll, I think, please, Inga.
Or a 93.
Nothing is springing to mind at the moment. You do a few searches. Yeah. Perhaps it'll come to you.
Google branch tattoo. There's probably a million things that loads of tattoo inspiration, nothing useful. Yeah.
Okay, so back in the medical room, Dr. Archer realizes, yes, I better get those personal effects put away, and he returns to the room where Mark is.
I've not done anything other than what I had said I was going to do.
Okay.
I presume there's not anything that it would be useful for me to actually take rather than just take pictures of, obviously.
I mean, keys, if you could, but they'd be quite obviously missing.
Yeah. And it's not even as if I could really take one, that wouldn't necessarily be that easily missed without, I might get one that's completely irrelevant to anything.
If only we were in a dentistry office, you can get the tooth mold and make.
Yeah.
And then,
we would probably have something like that because matching
like
dental records is.
I love the idea of Mark
New
spontaneously just figuring out how to use the mold machine in the back.
Yeah.
in like 2 minutes, he's been left alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably don't keep the dental clay next to the personal effects locker.
You could see if you could find other keys lying around. Unlikely.
Just swap them out.
Well, it's they were presented in a sort of a fairly clouded Ziploc bag. Dr. Archer might be, a bit distracted.
I mean, are there any other keys around? Why would I'm not sure there would be other keys around.
I just think of Indiana Jones.
You don't need your own keys anymore, Mark. You're committed to this. Come on.
Oh my god.
I did think of that, but then I thought they might be able to figure that one out.
Yeah. DeWitt would do it at the drop of a
DeWitt would do it. There's the phrase. There's the caption. So, Dr. Archer walks into the room. What are you doing?
So how long has he been out of the room for?
A few minutes.
Okay. I may have looked around for some small metallic-y objects to see if there's anything that I think would, and I've probably discussed with Dr. Good as well, and work together on if there's anything suitable. As a kind of replacement.
Okay.
What is that as a role?
I mean, there's search. If you're searching around,
it's probably
for stuff.
search, isn't it?
Is it disguise?
in this case, that's probably not the best roll.
Because if it's a sort of clouded Ziploc bag, like the weight doesn't have to match on its own with like an object that looks like keys. I suppose you could put an eraser in to add some weight if the other objects were lighter that you were using to. There's ways to sort of mess around with it, isn't there?
It could be a persuade, depending how you wanted to play it as well, Steve.
Oh yeah, like if you're wanting to do a bit of a sleight of hand thing, pretend to be handing it over, then drop it and do a bit of a switch, or cause a distraction, knock something over.
Hang on. Did he leave the sort of the lockbox sort of open?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So maybe I've just replaced with sort of vaguely correct stuff, and when he's walking back in, I'm closing the door.
Cool.
And I've taken. I think if there's something, if whatever's on the set of key, if there's something that looks like a bike lock key, obviously I wouldn't take that, but anything that looks like it might be, because we have the address of his home as well, right? And that's the other place that we were thinking of going.
Yeah, it's like there's his shop and his apartment above it. Yeah.
So anything that I can leave, I'll leave, and I'll attempt to do some kind of vague replacement of the other stuff.
Okay.
With whatever I can find.
Well, you didn't find much in his wallet. There was some loose change there. You could have kind of taken that out and dropped that in the bag, and that would have clinked a bit, I guess. There was a photograph in his wallet of an old photograph, slightly sort of faded, of a woman in her younger years. You've got the photograph of what you think is possibly important from the address book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So yes, Dr. Archer sort of is walking in, sees you sort of just with the bag going in, the door closing. So have you finished?
Yes, thank you. I think that I have everything that Dr. Good has requested me to.
Doctor,
shortening. Dr. Thorogood.
Beautiful. Right. Okay. Well, if you're done, then I do. Yes, I do need to get back home. Left halfway through a meal. Good. Okay. Right. Well, if you're done, I'll let you be on your way then. And there's a slight sort of pressure of trying to usher you out of
If we have any more questions, do you have a direct line we could access? Perhaps not yourself. I doubt you're always on call, but
well, there's the line for the mortuary department. You can always leave a message there, or there will be a way of accessing the. Well, you can always ring reception and get a call put through if necessary.
Excellent.
And he'll
Thank you
give you a phone number.
Thank you. And I will indeed leave.
Okay. Lovely. So
as I see people coming out, I will just kind of I'll probably, if I found a seat, probably stay in my seat and let them all pass and not make it look like I've been paying attention to them. And then like a couple of minutes later head out of the exit.
Blimey.
Hospitals are getting wild.
Yeah. Just dogs running down the corridors.
Apologies, someone at the door all of a
Bells
sudden. Unsurprising.
That's all right. We can fill.
We're all good.
Yeah, sorry, where were we? That was.
Do you
I
want
got
to
massively
pause,
distracted.
Sam, or okay?
I said my part. I'm heading out.
Okay.
Okay, so the rest of you then, you're heading out back to the car?
Yeah. I might. I have a vague glance around out of habit reflex as I walk through the reception area, but head out straight for the car.
Okay. And Conti, I presume, Nidri, you're also... Or are you just going to go around killing everybody that Dr. Goods talked to?
I mean,
Roll for it.
Don't roll for it.
The whole time DeWitt was sitting in that chair, like one hand
What-
was
what
under
kind of-
jacket on
what-
like a
what kind of
taser, ready
role?
to dash in.
What kind of role would it be to try and pickpocket the doctor as he goes back to his hot meal? Is that a stealth role?
That's probably a stealth roll. Let me just check. It's most likely a stealth roll, I think.
Mags is not here for this. She has followed Dr. Good and Mark Bradshaw as they've gone out, like with no thought to, I probably shouldn't be like with them. She's just seen them gone like, okay, yeah, and followed them back out
Nice,
again.
nice.
I wonder whether it is worth trying to pick his because the key card will only be on a lanyard around his neck, probably if he's leaving, and those don't have secure. You could pop that off, bumping into someone. That's my thoughts at least. But I don't have a high roll per se. But then who has high rolls for anything, you know? I'm gonna weigh this up, and I should have let his tires down while he was in the thing. You know, I should have done something like that. But never mind. No, I think I head back to the car.
Okay.
By the way, Steve, when I was sitting outside at that chair, was I close enough to hear the conversation going inside, or probably not? I'm assuming.
Because there's sort of sets of double doors and so on.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't have heard anything.
Okay,
within
no problem.
the
I was just
department
clarifying that. Cool. I'll probably be a few minutes before I come out anyway. So
sure. Well, you know, perhaps because you parked on a side street, didn't you? You're away from the. You weren't in the main car park. Okay. Well, you won't see.
Obviously not.
Wow.
we're such maniacs, aren't we? There's these normal people, and there's us just such maniacs. This is what you turn into. Do you really want to join this organization?
That's great. So yeah, you won't see Dr. Archer drive back home again. Who knows what will happen the next day, or well, it might not even be the next day. You know, at some point they'll open the locker again and wonder where the keys have gone.
It's okay. I'm sure they've not got any sort of security cameras in the whole place that could figure out who we were. I'm wondering it.
So, where are you going next? Are you heading over to the shop?
Yeah.
You didn't suspect anything then? That's good.
It all seemed to be perfectly natural causes, but without too much of a cause.
What?
I think
what
Archer
you
was
dial?
in a rush to get home, which probably helped us.
What
Have
is it?
either of you seen something like this? And I'll show them the tattoo, including whoever's driving, just shove in front of their face. On a previous missions, cases, whatever. Have you seen any? I can't find anything on it. I've not come across this before in my.
Do we recognize it, Steve? Make a roll?
Yeah.
I actually realised I have a roll for, but I'm assuming I haven't seen it. Otherwise, I'd probably have recognized
Occult, did you say?
Yeah,
Conti has not seen it before. He's made an occult roll. I'm going to tick my occult box.
I also fail, even though I have all right occult.
Remember to tick the box that if you fail. a
Oh
roll.
yes, tick boxes. If you fail, of course.
I should try to steal that thing and failed the roll.
That's one way of making progress, I guess. That's dramatic. Yeah, no, it's. I guess if nobody has succeeded, then it looks kind of distinctive, but it's not something that immediately triggers any.
They don't have any. The deceased doesn't have any family, do they? Or we haven't been told about that. Have we been told? We've told that they're basically like a loner or not.
I don't think you've been
Briefed
told
on it.
much. Oh no, actually, the medical report would have listed next of kin as being. Oh no, which was the daughter? Oh, this is terrible. Claire
There's
Mason.
a daughter. Okay,
Yes.
another person to kill. I'm just thinking about whether when we go over this, it will be Claire who would be getting the keys and the effects and things, and it will be her when they are not there that worries about them.
I'm assuming, Mark, you're sharing that you stole those keys. I was curious.
Oh yeah. As soon as we get into the car. Yeah.
Cool. That was the right decision.
Good work. It'll make things much simpler.
Was there anything significant in his address book?
Yeah, I'll have kept my camera with me, I think, and I'll flick through to the picture of the numbers. I thought at first these might be phone numbers, but they don't seem to be, though they're formatted similarly.
Presumably 11-digit numbers 5 and 6. It doesn't mean anything in an occult sense to either of us. That would be a long shot, I figured.
Or, I mean, whether in an occult sense or anything else, is there anything else that we might recognize
Yeah.
as a similar pattern?
You can say no, Steve. We don't have to roll.
You can always find patterns in things if you look hard enough, numerology. But nothing springs to mind. There's nothing.
Can I also just from the names of the book, because one of them was like a German. Like, can I just Google like the meaning? I don't speak German. Can I translate? Google Translate kind of thing. Figure out what this stuff means, and just to know what we're kind of looking for. And yeah.
I'm
assuming nothing will really come up for the other one with the Revelations book. But hopefully you can at least get a basic translation on the other one.
Yes. So it translates to either unspeakable cults or unpronounceable cults. If you... I think you probably find... You'd find references to it. They're going to be in sort of odd, off-kilter forums, and places like that.
That Mags probably already frequents.
Probably, yeah. So it's either people musing about what might be in it, or somebody who claims they saw it once, or somebody wanting to buy it, that sort of thing. But these are all sort of dating back years. There's nothing particularly concrete, other than the fact that it does seem to be quite a desirable. If you find, one in the original complete printing, it does seem to be quite desirable. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Same goes. Well, yes. If you hunt around for the Revelations of Glaaki, again, similar sort of thing. There's references to various different numbered volumes. So apparently the 9-volume set is the most common, but there are references to 11 volumes and rumors maybe to a 12th volume, but again, kind of mostly sort of rumor and speculation, that sort of thing.
What time of day is it now, Steve?
It's going to be. It was 9, I think, at the time that you were getting into the mortuary. So it's probably getting on for 10ish. So it's getting pretty late. The address of the shop is a little way out to the. It's on the main road, out of the town to the east. It's sort of a property that's part of a little set of shops that's sort of just set off from the road a bit. So there's like a thin sort of parking verge, and there's so it's the shop is called Mason's Books, and in the same row there's also like a small florists and fish and chip shop. So there's a few people around getting food there, but the Mason's Books is sort of further towards either end. So it's the lights are off, it's dark. What are you doing?
Is there a drive, or is it only on-street parking?
Well, there's on-street parking out the front, but if you drive up and down,
drive around a bit. Yeah,
you can probably find. There's like an alley or a lane or something around the back of that set of properties, which is more secluded. If
that'd be probably where we park, especially if there's no. Is there like Is it poorly lit?
It is indeed poorly lit.
Fantastic.
See if there's a back door, perhaps we could go in through.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Let's see if you got the right keys then, Mr. Bradshaw.
Okay. Who's opening the door?
Remember to wear some gloves.
I am going to head to the door, and I am going to check for he was found dead in his home, right?
Yep.
So the security alarm probably hasn't been enabled, probably, because you need to set a code. So yeah, but
I mean, if he was away from work, logically the alarm would be tripped in his workplace. Correct? It would be if there was an alarm.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Would
well
be
then, can I check for any from looking in any signs of an alarm system?
Okay. The back view of the place is fairly restricted. But driving past the place on the front, you did see a bell box.
Cool.
On the wall.
What is breaking and entering? Is it still stealth, or do we think it is? I've got locksmithing as well, and criminology. Can any of those help me in terms of disabling an alarm system? Thinking about
now, then there is a specific in tradecraft. There's a specific example for this. So. Page 166, under the section Breaking and Entering.
Thank you.
Sneaking past guards or cameras is stealth. Scaling a wall is athletics. Picking a lock is special training lockpicks or craft locksmith. Defeating a security system is special training security systems or craft electrician.
Craft electrician. Do I have electrician? Will you please have the thing? Yeah, I have craft electrical.
Cool.
I'm going to give that a go. I have 20 in it.
Are you just unlocking the door, or are you gonna?
No, I'm going to try and I've both got lockpicking and I've got craft electrical. Would I need to unlock the door first, or is there is there a way of disabling it from the outside, or what are we thinking, Steve? You can make any decision you want as to this. You can just say whatever you like. There's no requirement.
Well, given that you've got the skill and you can probably determine your Pisces provided phone is full of all sorts of tricks and gizmos. doing Bluetooth scanning and whatnot, local area networks.
Smart.
You can't see, like, modern alarm systems have this sort of interconnected Wi-Fi based connection thing going on. You can't see anything like that around here. So it seems to you that it's a local physical alarm, like an old-fashioned one.
Okay. All right then. So do I need to get inside first before I can disable it?
Yes.
Then in that case, I asked for the keys.
I hand them over.
And in which case, remembering to I've got driving gloves. I'm wearing gloves.
I was going to say, while this is all going on, I'm making sure everyone else is wearing gloves before we go inside as well.
And I will put the key in the back door and try and unlock it.
Okay. So the first one you try doesn't fit.
Cool.
But the second one you try does. The door unlocks.
I am going to take that key off the lock, and I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to put it in my pocket.
Okay.
In my left pocket. My left back pocket. I know whether I'm not going to make the mistake of
Left
trying
back
to
pocket,
fumble.
okay.
I'm not going to fumble through keys ever again.
Sure.
With this key. I know where this key is. Okay. Can I make an electrical roll to try and disable an alarm system?
Currently, the door is unlocked but not open.
Does Conti? Like, I don't know how to break into a home, but Conti knows how to break into places because he's done. It was his job.
If it's an old-fashioned alarm, it would likely be one of those things where you open the door and then it starts buzzing and you've got to press a thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what I'm like thinking. Conti.
Is that what Conti thinks too? Because I don't know what to think. Again, I'm not.
It's
a housebreaker.
Yes, so those sorts of alarm
Conti
systems.
is a housebreaker and a murderer. I am not a housebreaker or a murderer or a sociopath.
Yes, so the expected process. Yes. Just
okay, cool. In that case, I'll open the door. And
you open the door.
try and
So
disable the alarm.
yes, there'll be a countdown. You would have a certain period of time to do something.
Cool. I'm also going to tell who's coming in. Is anyone coming in with me? Does anyone want to come in with me? Anyone expressing an interest to come in with me?
Yeah,
I would go in.
I'd probably stay at the back.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask anyone else who's coming in. Hopefully, they have torches or lights.
Well, you had a whole lot of you
Yeah.
had to go back.
We have
with
like
all
things
sorts
like
of
that.
stuff.
I'll say, if this doesn't work, before I go in, can somebody try and find the fuse box? We can just turn it off there. So it's probably under a staircase or something like that. Yeah, Justin doesn't know anything about this, of course.
I love this.
I do not succeed. I botch.
So, okay. You might have been okay. I hadn't actually asked you to roll.
Okay,
But-
well that's fine. I'm going to try.
So that was a roll against
Electrical.
Okay. So you open the door.
Mhm.
As you suspected, a beeping starts. You're faced with a corridor that ends in another door. There's a door in front of you down this, 5-meter corridor. There's a door at the far end on the left. There is also a smaller door that looks kind of cupboardy to your immediate left. There is beeping.
I head towards the beeping, but I say
Okay.
it probably can someone check that that cupboard door under there? Looks like it might have could have a fuse box in it.
I mean, if you can go there because
I'm going to go to the alarm and try and head it off there.
right. The alarm is under the stairs. That's where the beeping is.
Oh, okay, then I head there. Then yeah.
So you're faced with the alarm panel, and further in there is a fuse box.
Okay.
The alarm panel has a numeric keypad on it.
Is there a fuse on the fuse box labeled alarm? And you're laughing, Sam, but I have but this is a thing. It does happen.
This is what happens when you don't succeed.
Like usually alarm systems, they would have some sort of secondary, like Like, they won't just.
In a personal home, I'm not saying that this is the setup in my house when I bought it,
All right.
but it is the setup in my house when I bought it. So I'm saying
Amazing.
it definitely is a thing
Amazing.
that really happens in real
Yeah.
life.
Fair enough. I mean, Mags definitely doesn't know anything about this stuff and know where a fuse
Yeah.
box is. So
Is
she's
there-
just gonna
is there
go
a
straight
fuse?
through to where the books are and just start looking.
Is there a fuse labeled alarm? That case, I will try to disable the alarm system without bothering with a key. And is there a key code like on it, like next to it? Is there like a? In which
Just
case, then I'll try
turn
and
all the
disable
power
the
off.
alarm, which I botch.
I'm
I
sure
will turn- If it goes off, I'm going to turn all the lights off. Yeah.
Might as well throw out try his birthday and then go off to look at some books.
I'll try his birthday first. Yeah, I'll give that a go. Like, you know, the date. The
You
day
key in
and
his
month,
birthday. That doesn't work.
Nothing. Right.
Beeping's continuing.
I'll try and do the electrical, but I try and bypass it electrically, like, you know, using my
Okay.
electrician role, which I botched, which I'm
Which you botched.
going to pretend I didn't botch. I'm going to pretend I don't know I botched it, but I do know I botched it.
Oh
It's
my
botched.
god. Okay. I don't know. What are you trying to pop the cover on this thing? Are you trying
I
to
don't.
sort of...
Again, like Conti's electrician. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. I'd try and
Okay.
pop the cover and just bypass it.
What is the botch again? Is it 90 or over or something?
a
95,
botch?
over 95, right?
Oh no!
Right.
In this case, it's a botch is 100 or double digits above your score. So what did you roll?
I rolled a 98, and I have 20.
That's not a botch.
electrical.
That's not a botch.
Okay,
Not a
that's fine.
botch.
That's fine then.
That's just a
That's-
failure.
just a failure.
Fail.
Right.
I thought it was over 95, or is that my Warhammer?
That's
knowledge?
That's
Cthulhu.
called a
That's
Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Oh, right then.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Delta Green is double numbers, or so if you roll under your score with a double, it's a crit success. If you roll a 1, it's a crit success. If you roll doubles over your score, it's a botch. If you roll 100, it's a botch.
Is it an old style fuse box or a new style fuse box?
It's probably an old style fuse box. So it's
Who even has those anymore? They're not even safe.
my mum.
Yeah, it's true.
Um,
Not that I know what your mum's fuse box is like.
yeah, let's not discuss my mum's.
Let's
fuse
not go
box.
there. If
Um,
when I failed the check and it's still beeping, then I'll just start pulling fuses into the fuse box until it stops beeping, and then I'll put
Okay.
fuses back in.
Right. Sadly, it's on battery backup. So
The battery back. I take the battery out. I've got the pop cover off.
no, the batteries.
I can. Justin Berg can bypass this security system. Bring it out there.
If you failed, then you probably haven't found the battery, right?
Where is the battery in this machine?
It could be in a secondary unit. It could be somewhere else.
They do tend to
A
hide them
secondary
so that
unit.
it's kind of hard to
Hard to
disable.
rob. It's kind
Yeah.
of the point
Oh,
of them.
Running at the alarm and smashing
Also-
it is probably a logical response to the alarm going off, isn't it? So
The
but
the
also-
amount of times that there was a power cut when I was younger and loads of alarms in the street would start going off, I can only imagine that that's
true.
what will happen if you pull the
yeah,
fuse
true,
out for
true.
the
old ones. That's
for the
true.
alarm.
Actually, yeah. Yeah.
Again, this is not like as if like this guy is not like he's got a bookshop. This is not a sophisticated alarm. I have lived in multiple houses, multiple alarm systems, and I tell you, when you turn the power off, they don't go off. Like it's like
My house alarm
yeah.
power went off. The fucking thing would sound forever. It was
That's
a real pain in the ass.
So
Not that I'm drawing
annoying.
on personal life
It's true,
experiences
it's
to
true,
power
it's
this adventure. or
That's
not.
fine. That's fine.
My
We're-
only frame
we're
of
in a
reference for
situation.
security on a bookshop is black books, and
Exactly.
that's what I'm now
Like,
picturing.
I also
I'm
get
not-
the distinct feeling that everyone is like we're on the same team, people. We're trying to get this alarm off.
Oh no, Max is not interested in the alarm. The alarm's going off. She's now seeing this as a countdown for how long she's got to find the books that she's after. It's not helping you in the slightest. She's gone straight to the books.
God.
She's just-
Is
as
the
fast
alarm
as she
going
can.
off now? Has that happened?
The alarm. If you've pulled the power, the alarm has started going. Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to dash inside then.
Okay.
All right,
Is
then,
the-
yeah. It's
I'm
going off in
going
the
to.
system.
Sorry.
It's going off in the system, right? Like, so this system is going off. It doesn't have a separate alarm that is
Oh no, it would trigger the outside bell.
through the outside bell. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, would it? I think it does. Yes.
Assuming the driver didn't take the keys with them, I'm going to get in the car and start the engine. Just in case we need to, leave.
things I obviously would have done taking the keys with me.
Well, fine. Then you can just.
I'm not having these like unreliable people just leave with a car, leaving me behind. I leave other people behind. They don't leave me behind.
I'm going to dash in after Mags and hunt for books and things quickly now. I also want to check if we're like in here with torches.
Again, the alarm would have gone off whether Conti'd done anything or not.
Yeah.
You know.
If we're now in the bookshop part, which is presumably the front part of the shop, I want to check that like the shutters or curtains are closed, so it's not like there's also loads of like torches that people could see through the front window inside the shop with the alarm going off.
Yeah, the front of the store is a fair distance away, but it's a store window, so there are no immediate shutters there.
Okay, and then I'll just say if I see that, I'll just say stay away from the front for now. See if we can find.
Yeah, I'm assuming that the front is and like the main kind of bit for the members of public is the least likely place for the super valuable secretive books. So we'll be looking for anywhere that is sort of behind the counter, or if there's nothing else that kind of looks a bit more like a the special books, like maybe even heading upstairs like into his personal space rather than the actual bookshop area.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
So if you're trying the various doors, the one in front of you at the end of the corridor is open. The one to the left is also locked. I will allow people an intelligence roll or SIGINT. At this point, int times 5 or SIGINT.
I rolled 18 out of 65 on intelligence.
Yeah,
I got an 11, which is a crit success, right?
Oh, right.
Yes.
I passed intelligence too.
I pass intelligence.
You're talking to a clever group.
Well, suddenly you think back to that list of numbers in the address book, most of which were crossed out, but the last one wasn't.
I'll shout out. I want to still look for the books in case it doesn't work. But I'll shout out the numbers in the book, the alarm numbers book.
I'll grab my camera out and flick to the picture and then head over.
Okay.
At pace.
At pace. Yeah. Okay. You type the first 5 digits in and the alarm stops. It's now kind of doing an internal beep power failure.
Put the fuses back in.
Okay. Things calm down.
Still,
Mags is looking for books with the same level of urgency.
I'm vaguely following Mags and also looking for books.
Okay.
I'm now wondering what the other 6 digits are for.
Well, here's a question. So, okay, the alarm stopped. Piece is sort of descending again. Jonny, what does Mark's ringtone sound like?
It would be, I think, the standard ringtone.
Okay.
For whichever brand of device he has.
So nothing too comedic or grating, just stand. Okay.
Absolutely. He has never changed the ringtone. He's never changed his phone background. It's the standard.
Well, your phone rings. And the contact is someone you know. It's Alison Reynolds. And you know her because she's a sort of a graphic design person. You've sent her work in the past to maybe, I don't know if you've been collating, editing photographs for collation to books, things like that. But it's someone you've dealt with previously. Do you answer the phone?
Everything's quiet now.
Your ears are ringing a bit, but
she's somebody I want to keep on side, I presume. Want to maintain a good professional relationship with. Do I, now that I'm involved in this? I mean, I did.
Up to you. Up to you.
I think working as a freelancer, I probably just answer it without really thinking about it when I see that it's something that could relate to work.
Okay.
Like just as a reaction. And probably go, Alison, and then like drop my head a bit and sort of realize what I've done in the moment. Probably standing in the dark in the middle of this bookshop that we've broken into.
Okay.
Still holding my camera here with the image of the numbers on the screen.
Entrance of this busted alarm panel.
Yeah.
In a dark. Yeah. Well, she says, Mark, you won't believe this. I've found your photographs, the originals. I knew you wouldn't fake any of your work. I'd totally forgotten about it after you sent them to me. I burnt them to a USB stick, and well, Casper, you know what he's like. He must have knocked it down the back of a filing cabinet or something. So I made another copy and forgot all about it. And of course, there was all of that mess with the National Geographic. And when I checked the photos I had, they all showed signs of being edited. But I found that first USB stick today. Get this, the photos are different. There's no sign of editing at all. You'll be able to clear your name once and for all. There's definitely something odd in the photographs, though. I can't quite make it out. I've uploaded them to a cloud upscaling service to see whether I can extract any more detail. Anyway, I've got to go. I think I've heard someone outside. I'll call you later if I find anything. And then she hangs up. And I think we'll leave the session there.
Oh, that was such a masterfully creepy ending.
Mm.
Did that just have to be the last words she said? Oh.
Well, no, the last one she'll be saying, "Ah!"
You have you
That'll be the last
endangered,
words
Jonny.
there.
That was amazing.
What poor sweet NPC is going to die as a result of whatever you've done here.
Mm. Oh, perfect. Oh, that was good.
We have no idea.
No one else probably even listening. I'm looking forward to Mark's reaction next session now. Oh,
I'm sorry, I couldn't see your face whilst I was reading that because it was on the side of the screen. So I'll have to watch the replay. But I hope that was.
It was like this, Steve. Oh no!
Great. That was such a clean session for the first half, and then such a mess when we got to the shop.
I really thought you'd. Yeah, sorry for dropping clues and all, but I really thought you'd.
With the number, I totally thought, oh, it's totally going to be an alarm number or something like that. Completely forgot about it. As soon as the alarm went off, went out of my head, which is fine because it would not have been in Mags's head, so it's totally fine. But yeah, I totally thought of it and then completely also just lost it in the moment. So yeah, cool under pressure.
Yeah.
I love that sense of sort of urgency and stress that.
Yeah, the alarm going off. I love it. It's just a regular old alarm, and all of a sudden we're all just like panic.
Yeah.
I mean, from my experience in living in a house with an alarm, even when you're not breaking in, it's still quite stressful.
I hate them.
I hate them so much. I think the one I used to live with had like a wonky button as well, so it was like when you pressed it, you didn't know whether it registered it correctly.
That's the worst.
Oh, I love it when you were still in the keys mark and we were all like, oh, and then Inga posted in the private chat, damn, everything's behind the giant bike clock. The one we left behind.
Cool. Well, I hope that was sort of
really
yeah.
good. I'm looking forward to that. Cool.
Yes, I was trying not to lead you too much.
No,
there are, there were ways that you could have got around various things, even if you'd not had the keys.
It's fine. At this point, there's fairly self-explanatory stuff to do as well. So Makes sense.
Or so we think.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, I guess we'll yes, leave it there for now. Thank you very much for watching, and catch you next time.